It is April 22nd.
This is The Warning.
What can be said about the disgrace on the South Lawn of the White House? Now, no president has ever sought to sell the people's house to giant corporations. But then again, no scumbag like Donald Trump has ever risen to the office of President of the United States. And so it was a South Lawn fire sale. The White House completely commercialized. Amazon, Meta, all the tech oligarchs had their little spaces on the White House lawn. Doesn't matter what the law says, doesn't matter what the regulations say, because if Trump wants to do it, Trump can do it. That is the fundamental central operating premise of the Trump regime, which is that Trump is above the law. The rules, the regulations, the laws, they're for little people, the lesser thans, people like you. They do not apply. Now, imagine if you're a sergeant in the Marine Corps or a private and you lose your rifle. Might there be a consequence? What about for the defense secretary who puts secret battle plans during military operations more than once into signal chats that include his former mistress, now his third wife, his third-tier lawyer, and his brother? And when the defense secretary is asked about it, does he own up to it like a man? Does he respond to the questions with concepts that include accountability, responsibility? Does he appreciate that he has massive authority and with it comes responsibility for other people's lives and the accountability for it? Obviously not. Let's watch.
See, this is what the media does. They take anonymous sources from disgruntled former employees, and then they try to slash and burn people and ruin their reputations. Not going to work with me, because we're changing the Defense Department, putting the Pentagon back in the hands of warfighters, and anonymous smears from disgruntled former employees on old news doesn't matter. So I'm happy to be here at the Easter egg roll with my dad and my kids, because, this is what we're doing it for. These kids right here.
Can you imagine if you walk into Xi Jinping's office as the Chinese defense minister and show him the video of this clown? Xi Jinping must be like, is he the Easter Bunny? There are no words. Yesterday, the Red Letters' Tara Palmieri reported on Laura Loomer, a 31-year-old whack job, legitimate mental patient, disordered personality, who is among Donald Trump's most powerful advisors. And there's two parts to Palmieri's reporting. The first is she's a one-woman news network. Why isn't this on CNN or on ABC News or on MSNBC or on NBC or on CBS? Why is there never an interview done with the most powerful people around Trump? This nut walked into the Oval Office and she got a significant portion of the national security staff fired. And she was there in the Oval Office to take out the national security advisor who, like Pete Hegseth, is utterly unfit, completely unqualified, and should not be in his job. Now, is this the way the White House should run? What you're told by Politico, what you're told by all the Washington tip sheets is Susie Wiles, oh, the Trump grandma, she's in charge. Are you kidding me? Susie Wiles is out of control, meaning she has no control. She's like a monkey in a cage full of other monkeys throwing their feces at one another. She's in charge of nothing. The person who's in charge is Donald Trump Jr. And by the way, Uday made it clear that after Pete Hegseth's spokesperson went out and told the truth and said there is total chaos in the Pentagon, well, Uday made it clear the truth teller faces exile. All of a sudden, all of Pete Hegseth's hand-picked guys are MAGA enemies. It took a month. The chaos, the incompetence, the idiocy, the extremism, the crookedness, the insanity the weirdness, none of it can be hidden. The American people will see it all. The American economy is collapsing. The dollar is collapsing. All of this is happening deliberately, purposefully, premeditatively. Donald Trump is crazy. He's incoherent. And yet, on any given day, the people confirmed by the Senate, America's Politburo, who have given these people power, on any given day, these people will make clear the only thing that matters is the grace and glory of Donald Trump. Let's listen to Pete Hegseth, the defense secretary, at an Easter event, unable to refrain from making partisan comments.
Hoaxsters. This group, this group right here, full of hoaxsters that peddle anonymous sources from leakers with access to grind, and then you put it all together as if it's some news story. And when we know it, you know exactly what it is. So I'm really proud of what we're doing for the president, fighting hard across the board, and I'm going to go roll some Easter eggs with my kids.
These people, their wretchedness, their disgustingness, there truly are no words to describe it. What they represent is America's decay, a deep rot, a corruption that's been built up over 25 years, a black mold. We have the worst people ever elected to, ever confirmed to, ever appointed to high office in the history of the United States. Right now, in this moment, they are part of a sick political movement. The fascist pig, Marjorie Taylor Greene, at the moment of the death of Pope Francis, tweets out that God killed the Pope. These people are more than a menace. They're a disease. And the American people are the cure or the dead patient. Either or. The country either gives the Democratic Party the power to deal with these people like Hegseth, or the country's gone. Simple as that. And so right now in this moment, the Democratic Party as an institution, as an organization, is run by, controlled by a group of geriatrics, a group of self-interested hustlers, and yoked to the aspirations of this woman with the folder over her face, this guy who thinks that the path to the future runs through the Charlie Kirk show, and Kamala Harris's mediocrity as vice president, who can't speak in a coherent sentence when he's asked a very simple question by Jake Tapper. Disaster is very close. We have a fascist party and a silly party. We have a malevolent party and a rollover party. We have a I'm taking everything from you party and a I won't fight for anything party opposing it. It's not acceptable. Nobody is going to rescue the American people from this. The American people must rise up and revolt against this insanity. Next month, Donald Trump and Pete Hegseth will be standing in front of thousands of new lieutenants and ensigns in the armed forces of the United States. These young men and women who have been taught a curriculum of honor and service and patriotism will have their commissioning day desecrated by their commanders who stand for every value they have been taught to hold contempt for. And if anybody thinks that that's not a crisis, might I suggest as soon as possible that they remove their head from their ass. And this is The Warning.
I'm Steve Schmidt. This is The Warning. I invite you to join this community where I promise to be honest, blunt, and direct about what is happening in this country. America is in crisis. Follow and subscribe to this channel and on Substack. Thank you.